Hello everyone and welcome to episode 1 of a brand new World of Warcraft series, another one of my mini series that I have been wanting to do, where we are back in the World of Warcraft hardcore version, where we only have one life, where if we die to any means, if you die to a monster, if you die to fall damage, if you die even if you disconnect from the server, we are dead forever. We only have one life, where I have done one series so far in the hardcore version of World of Warcraft, where I was playing a night elf druid, and today I want to explore another part of the world so we can learn more about the lore and story of this specific part of the world and kind of check out this class and what it is able to do. Where the race that I want to explore is the Tauren, as you can tell by the title of this video, where the Tauren always strive to preserve the balance of nature and heed the will of their goddess, the Earth Mother. Recently attacked by murderous centaur, the Tauren would have been wiped out, save for a chance encounter with the orcs who helped defeat the interlopers. To honor this blood debt, the Tauren joined the Horde, solidifying the two races' friendship. Where, as a Tauren character, we can explore another part of Kalimdor, where we have now played as an orc in the Season of Discovery that I've been doing on this channel, and we've explored that part of the world, and we've kind of peeked into Mulgore a little bit. I really want to explore a lot of Mulgore in this episode and the next episode, and then we will be going out to other parts of the world in episode 3, if we make it that far, I suppose. But let's go ahead and pick a class, where Tauren can only be 4 classes, where the class that I want to pick today is not a druid like we were doing on our night elf character, and not a shaman like we have done on our orc character. I want to take a look at the hunter, where hunters know the uncharted places of the world, gifted with a deep empathy for all life. They have an uncanny knack for befriending wild animals and taming them as pets. In addition, hunters can use their finely honed senses to become master trackers. Wherever hunters go, they fight back the ravages of sickness, exploitation, and industrialization. So I want to play through as a Tauren Hunter, and I will remember this time to customize my character a little bit, so we can just pick a skin color, and I guess I'll go with this one, and then we can pick a face, and I kind of like that one. Let's just make a basic Tauren that like everyone has played as. Maybe we could choose a lot of different horn styles there, but I'll go with that one. And let's say this one perhaps, and then looking at facial hair, we can go with just a very basic looking Tauren that I'm sure everyone has made a Tauren that looks like this at some point. But let's go ahead and type in a character name and enter the world of Azeroth.
Once a nomadic people, the Tauren roamed the endless plains of the Barrens, hunting the mighty Kodo. Scattered across the land, the wandering tribes were united only by their common hatred for their sworn enemy, the marauding centaur. Seeking aid against the centaur, the great chieftain Cairn Bloodhoof befriended the savage orcs who had recently journeyed to Kalimdor. With the orcs' help, Cairn and his tribe were able to drive back the centaur and claim the grasslands of Mulgore for their own. Upon the windswept mesa of Thunder Bluff, Cairn built a refuge for his people. Over time, the scattered tribes united under a single banner. Though the noble Tauren are peaceful in nature, the rites of the Great Hunt are venerated as the heart of their spiritual culture. As a tribesman of Mulgore, you must test your skills in the wild and prove yourself in the Great Hunt.
Just like in any other Let's Play series or run through of World of Warcraft, we start here in a starting zone that is relatively easy, but since we are on hardcore and we only have one life, we still need to be a little careful. So let's go ahead and pick up our first quests, and I can go ahead and kind of just sort out the basics that I do in the settings on any new character, where I want these 2 action bars, and I can just do some old-fashioned reorganizing and switch that up there. And let's go ahead and pick this task or quest as well, not Guilders 2, we were playing WoW. And let's go ahead and head out into Red Cloud Mesa, which is the starting zone here in Mulgore, where we start on the very southern tip of this zone and we work our way up north to Thunderbluff and to the areas around Thunderbluff. We're starting off here, we have 2 different quests, and as a hunter we can engage with the enemies we need for this quest in 2 basic ways right now. One is using our rifle, which is just a ranged weapon that deals physical damage to enemies, and once they get close we can go ahead and use our melee attacks, where we have one skill that we can use here called Raptor Strike, a strong attack that increases melee damage by 5, so it's just a basic like damage enhancement attack on our next attack. So we have a lot of different opportunities to engage enemies where we can attack them from range, and we could like try to back up a little bit and then continue shooting them, or once they get close, or we can just go in straight away. We can attack them with our axe, and then we can use Raptor Strike to deal additional damage. Where with our axe we can keep hitting enemies over and over and over and over and over, but with our rifle, our gun here, we have to use ammo in order to shoot it, where we start off with 200 light shots, and every time that we shoot any bullet, be it an auto attack or with a skill, we use up one of those light shots. So this is like an extra mechanic in the game where we have to buy bullets if you're using a gun, or we have to buy arrows if you're using a bow or a crossbow, and I would assume we'll probably mostly use guns in this Let's Play series on this character, but if we end up wanting to use a bow, we have the opportunity to do that. But if we run out of light shots, we can no longer use our gun because we don't have a bullet to shoot, and we have to go to a vendor to pick up more light shots in order to use them. We got some frayed bracers here. I can go ahead and equip that. We're of course starting off on a brand new character. We have no gear, and I think really starting off on a brand new character is just so much fun because you have like the whole world ahead of you, and you're like a fresh character that doesn't have any gear, and like the start of the game is like pretty easy and it gets like a little bit more challenging, so you kind of have that like dopamine rush with like having easy encounters and stuff, I suppose, and it's just a very like fun experience where I just have a lot of nostalgia, because when I was younger I think I played through like the starting zones like over and over a lot because I like created new characters, and then I'm like, oh, I want to create a new character, so I created like a new one, and then I did that over and over. That type of like autoholic type of like play style that a lot of people are familiar with. So I just have a lot of nostalgia for like starting zones in general, which is why these miniseries are fun, because we're mostly just kind of checking out like the first zone or 2 for each of the races, and I'm not really going much further than that because that's what the longer series are for. So it's kind of just like a nice nostalgia trip for me in general as I go through all these things, where as a Tauren character I have definitely played a Tauren before. I played every race multiple times before, but I think the Tauren are one of those races that I haven't played a lot of, where I remember during Mist of Pandaria I played a lot of a Tauren druid character, where I leveled as a balanced druid and then I became a restoration druid and played a lot of PvP on that character, but I don't really have many memories other than that. But my first memories of World of Warcraft is with my mom playing a Tauren character, even though she doesn't remember that at all. So I guess this is a little bit special for me because my first memories of World of Warcraft, even before I played, is of a Tauren Hunter actually here in Mulgore, so that's kind of fun. But we leveled up to level 2, so we are now a little bit stronger and we can take on a little bit more difficult enemies, and we have completed or almost completed this quest here, where we need one more Planestrider feather, so we can see if we will get that on this Planestrider. But a really cool part of the Tauren experience here is that we have this other quest here called a humble task, where, oh, I guess technically it is a task, not a quest, technically, but we can go ahead and come over here to Great Mother Hawkwind and we can chat with her, where basically we can take a water pitcher from the water well and then return the pitcher to Chief Hawkwind in Camp Narache, or however you pronounce it, which is northwest of the water well where we started. We're a really big part of Mulgore, and we kind of see this a little bit in future zones as well, but it's really only focused on in Mulgore are these water wells, where this is the first well that we have here, and it is basically getting water for the Tauren to drink and to use, which is incredibly important for any civilization or community. But other wells elsewhere in Mulgore are corrupted, and we can work to basically like fight back against the corruption and to like preserve the water and whatnot. But this one is pretty fine, and it's kind of just an introduction to that one, where there's really like 3 more in a little bit of a quest line that we can engage with as we continue to explore Mulgore. But first things first, let's go ahead and run back here and turn in these 2 quests, and we might have a special quest to go talk to our hunter trainer because we are now level 2. Can turn this in and get a special belt, so that is going to help us out there, and then we can continue the hunt, and we have an etched note to go talk to our hunter trainer who is in this tent right here. So let's go ahead and turn in the humble task quest that we have with our water pitcher, and we can get 40 copper from that, and then we have another quest there that we can go do. But let's go ahead and talk to our hunter trainer because every 2 levels we can learn new skills in World of Warcraft, where we can now learn how to track beasts, which is pretty cool. And it's not really something that I use too often, but let's go ahead and throw it down onto my skill bar. And it is nice in some circumstances, and it's probably going to be nice because a lot of quests in Mulgore has us fighting beasts, so it's going to be kind of helpful for us to basically track them, where how this works is we can track the beast, and we can only use 1 tracking ability at a time. So there are other like tracking abilities for, like, I think there's like humanoids and like dragonkin and like one other or something like that, and basically when this is active, which we can see it active here on our mini map on the top left corner, we can then see on our mini map where there are a bunch of these red dots around here that are showing all the different enemies based off of what tracking we are using. So we see a ton of plane striders around here, which is going to be helpful for us because we could maybe find some special ones, and also it might warn us about potential danger coming in. But we have a mountain cuckoo right here, so let's go ahead and continue our questing here, where we need to get like 12 or 10 pelts, and then there is an seer at the top of this hill right here in that tent that we can go ahead and chat with, and we can go ahead and continue this quest. Where as we progress through this character, I think playing as a hunter is a pretty good option because it is a pretty safe option when it comes to playing hardcore WoW compared to like a druid, which is a little bit more risky and more challenging to play. Where I have been playing a bit of a troll hunter in hardcore, but I haven't gotten a lot done on that character, but I've been playing it and I've been having fun on that character. But as we approach challenges, we should be able to have a good time with defeating all of the enemies and completing all the quests that we need to do. But just like with anything, we need to be very careful as we do that, because if we make a mistake, we are going to die. And even if we are playing a class that is like easier than other classes, such as like a hunter or a paladin, we can still make a mistake, or we could be put into a very weird situation by other people where we could potentially lose our lives and lose our character. But we leveled up to level 3, which is nice, so we are at a good point in our journey where I've been playing for like less than 15 minutes now, and we've already leveled up twice, which of course that is kind of, I mean, that's probably not really a fast speed when you like think about it actually, but as we get further and further into the game, leveling gets harder and harder every time we level up because you need more experience to get to the next level. So of course like the first 20 levels is like pretty fast to get, and then the next 20 it like slows down considerably, and then the last 20 is like very slow to get. So as we progress through this challenge, we are going to have a harder time reaching the end, assuming we reach the end, where basically on this character, my primary goal really is to just explore Mulgore, where I really only care a lot about this episode and then the next episode, where I want to explore Mulgore and take a look at like the class special stuff that we get at level 10, special stuff for this class. That's how you form that sentence. Where beyond that, anything else is kind of just a bonus for me, so we can have some fun with like challenging ourselves and trying to get as high of a level as we can, but I don't care too much if we die at some point. Of course, you know, it'd be fun to get to level 60. I hope we at least get higher than level 10. I guess that's like my leveling goal, where at level 10 I'm basically kind of done exploring what I want on this character, but our last character died at level 10, so if we can get to the level 11, that means we progressed a little bit series over series, where I still have a couple more hardcore challenges that I want to do on my YouTube channel like after this character, so we can kind of look ahead to those as well. where I do hope you all are enjoying like this mini series type of thing that I am doing, because I'm doing like the big long season of discovery series, and I kind of just want to take some time to take a deep dive into like very specific parts of World of Warcraft, specifically like the races, where I really enjoyed exploring the night elves, and I'm really happy that it only went for like 2 or 3 episodes, because I think that's kind of like exactly what I wanted to do there. And I know it's like a little bit short when you think about like the Let's Play series as a whole, but I'm still like pretty happy with it because I basically did everything that I wanted there. And I have lots of plans for these mini-series as I continue my longer series as well, and I hope you all enjoy them as well. As we play through the world as a hunter here, we should be really cautious about some of the kind of like general tips and tricks that exist for playing a hardcore character, where of course the biggest thing that comes to playing on a hardcore server is the idea of patience, where if you get impatient and you kind of start doing something a little bit stupid, you're probably going to die. So I think like the biggest thing that we should be going for is to kind of just sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey a little bit, and try not to rush it too much, because that's not really something that I'm like really looking to do here. Which fits in a lot for kind of like how I make Let's Play videos, I guess, where I'm kind of just chilling, and the videos I guess are a little bit fast paced, but nevertheless I'm still kind of just chilling and experiencing the game how I want. And alongside that, we should be cautious or knowledgeable or whatever of our rested experience, where we want to make sure that we log out in an inn, where the first inn is not in the starting zone here, it is at the first or second town in this map that we can go to. So we can log out there, where we can accumulate a rested experience to basically get like double experience from kills. And then speaking of kills, we kind of want to make sure that we are killing a lot of animals along the way, because we don't want to be strapped for quests, and we don't want to have to like potentially do quests that are more difficult than the ones that we are currently doing, because that might be more of a challenge for us. So we kind of just want to slaughter every single thing that comes into our line of sight. I guess you could call it hunting, since we're a hunter, perhaps. That might make it more immersive. But I touched on this as we were playing our druid character. As we are walking to places, we can go ahead and just kill a mob here or there. Where as a druid character, we have a lot of mana that we use in our spells, whereas a hunter, we do have mana as a resource, but it is not really a resource that we pay too much attention to until like a little bit of a higher level, where we start using a lot of basically their spells, but there are different types of shots that we can use to basically like deal more damage to our enemies, and that starts eating through our mana, and we have to like drink some water to get our mana back. So that's just something we have to be cautious about. We're at this earlier levels, it's not really something we care too much about, because we are not really going to be using Raptor Strike enough to use up all of our mana. Let's go ahead and turn in this quest, and maybe it will level us up to level 4. Oh, we're just short. And let's go ahead and pick up this quest as well, where we now have 3 quests to go to the east, and we have another quest over there that we can pick up to fight Quilboar. So I think I kind of want to get ready for that adventure. So let's go ahead and come through our inventory here really quickly, and let's go ahead and just organize it and sell what we do not want, which is pretty much everything right here. And then I think it would be smart if we take a moment and pause on questing to come back out and to kill a bunch of these creatures. And let's go ahead and kill enough so we can get just under 3 bars of experience, so we can level up to level 4. So we can go into these quests being a little bit stronger than we are right now. But more importantly, at level 4, as I mentioned earlier, every 2 levels, so every even level, we can learn a new skill. So I think it would be nice to go to our trainer at level 4, get a new skill, spell, whatever, and use that against the Quilboar as we head out over there. So let's go ahead and just kill a few Planestriders. And I just got a small brown bag that we can go ahead and equip right there. So we now have some more inventory space, which is going to be nice when you kind of go deep into enemy territory there. We'll have more inventory space. And we also have the small ammo pouch, which is a special hunter mechanic, or I think you can use ammo pouches on like every class, but really only hunters use it, where it is basically a storage bag to have some special slots for our ammo, so for our light shots and then for arrows as well. And it basically doesn't take up other bag space, but it does take up one of the bag slots, so you potentially lose out on like other bag space. If you have like an empty slot in the pouch that doesn't have bullets in it, you can't put other items items in here like this, where you could put like light shots in like the bag. So it's kind of like something to consider, is kind of like that management aspect of it. But a very nice thing with it is that if you have one equipped, your ranged attack speed is increased by 10%, which is very, very nice to have. Like, it's basically like 10% more damage with our rifle basically. But we have now leveled up to level 4, which means we can now go ahead and go to our hunter trainer and we can learn what is next for us. And I can go ahead and probably just clear out my bags a little bit here, where this is an upgrade of 2 armor. So 2 more armor means we take less damage, which is nice. Where if we look at that, damage reduction against a level 4 enemy is 12.8%. We equip the pants, it is now 13%. So a whole 0.2%, which, you know, adds up. It could save our life. Let's go ahead and clear that, and let's go ahead and come into the tent here, where we can go ahead and find the hunter trainer and see what we have available for us at level 4. So let's go ahead and chat here, and we can get Aspect of the Monkey and the Serpent Sting. So 2 spells here, or skills. So Aspect of the Monkey, the hunter takes on the aspects of a monkey, increasing chance to dodge by 8%. Only 1 aspect can be active at a time. So this is a special hunter mechanic where basically there are a bunch of different aspects and you can only have 1 of them at a time. Where the first one we get is the monkey, which basically increases our dodge chance, which is very nice to survive. But we can get ones in the future as well that increases like our ranged damage, and one that increases our movement speed, which is nice. So that's something to look out for. But we also got Serpent Sting, which is our first sting, which is another hunter mechanic, and it is basically like another shot that we can do out of our rifle, but it is like a condition or like a damage over time type of attack, where the Serpent Sting will cost 20 nature damage over 15 seconds. So whenever we are fighting an enemy, we should just consider having this on them, because it just increases our overall damage. But as we are approaching this way, we can go ahead and start fighting some battle boars. And I guess I'll shoot at this one over here, which we need to fight some for our quest. And then we have 2 other quests to fight Quilboars. Let's go ahead and get the Serpent Sting off, which we can see lasts for 15 seconds and will just deal damage there. Where we have talked a lot about the Quilboar on my Orc Shaman character, so I don't really want to talk about them too much, but I'll probably talk a little bit about them in the next episode. But as far as it goes for this episode, they're just boar creatures that we are fighting through, and they are kind of like the bane for Taurens, where they really mess up a lot of things for Taurens. And we have here in Red Cloud Mesa, we have this entire area here on the eastern end of this area that is just infested with them, and is like a massive or pretty massive stronghold that we can go ahead and fight through, where we need to kill their chief, and we need to get a bunch of their belts, and we need to kill their boars, and then there is a special quest in there we can pick up. I just got some new boots, so that is 5 more armor for us. So our damage reduction against a level 4 attacker is now 13.6%, so that went up quite a bit. And we have a bristleback Quilboar right here that we can go ahead and begin shooting. And I don't think we really have to worry too much about the enemies in here. We should be fine, but we still need to be careful as we go through here, especially the boss, who has like a couple of guards with him. So we want to make sure that we don't get flanked by any enemies really in here, because there is a decent amount of mobs in here and it is a pretty dense area. So we just need to be careful that we don't get overwhelmed, and if we do get overwhelmed, we should try to be cautious about our exits. Where if you get into a situation where we want to try to run, we should make sure that we have an exit cleared so we can escape from this area. And worst case scenario, we could use a hearthstone and just hearth out of here. And I just realized I got another small brown pouch back there. I didn't even see it. So we are up 2 bags so far. So we have 1 more slot left. And then we could consider, and I just realized we're kind of low on ammo here, and hopefully we will be fine. I'm not feeling good about this now. Why'd I say we would be fine earlier? But we could consider, when we get a 4th bag here, after we get a 3rd one of course, to replace that bag with this small ammo pouch, or other way around, replace a small ammo pouch with the bag, so we just have more general inventory space. Let's go ahead and deal with this Quilboar here, where I can go ahead and just use Raptor Strike over and over, and we are not taking too much damage, which is very helpful for us right now. And we just have to navigate through this twisted maze, where I think we want to go around there. So let's go ahead and just fight this Quilboar here, where I really do not mind killing many of them, because I want to kill a lot to get a lot of experience so we can level up, because I think it would be smart for us to reach like level 6 before we leave this area. Where, speaking of like this area, we can go ahead and take a quick look at our death log add-on, which I talked about in the last series a lot. But let's go ahead and take a look at Mulgore, where it's still showing my last character's death there. But if we come down here into Kalimdor and then into Mulgore here, we can see that the area we are in is a little bit of a dangerous area. Like, more people die here compared to like this area right next to Thunderbluff. But really, a lot of people die right here because of this mob called Snaggle Spear, who has 999 kills. And oh, we are under attack by another mob. I think we're fine. But basically, that mob is like a level 9 elite, I believe, that wanders around in an area that like level 5s or level 6s like wander around in, and he like blends in with like the other mobs, and he does like range damage. So he really just messes up a lot of people's day. So when we are in that area, we should be very, very careful. But we're not in that area yet, so we don't really have to care about that just yet. And we should be careful about this area because we are currently in it, and you know, if we are not playing smart, our day could be ruined. For honestly, what do I even do if I die in the series? Do I just like not release this episode? So I guess if you're listening to this, I haven't died yet, at least. Maybe I'll die in episode 2, just like in the last one. As we fight through this Quilboar, we will be able to enter into the outer reaches of like the most central area of this place, where we have the boss and we have a quest we can pick up, and there are a ton of Quilboar around here, and so far we seem to be doing okay. Nothing is coming behind us, and I should maybe take a moment to eat some food to regenerate our health. But we can see in this big tent in front of us is going to be the main boss of this area, the final boss of the starting zone that we can go ahead and fight. So let's go ahead and just work our way over there, and hopefully I can clear out like a decent enough area so we can kind of pull the boss out a little bit potentially, and be able to fight him in a more open area that doesn't have a lot of Quilboar walking around. I do believe there are a couple of patrols in this area, so we need to keep our eyes out a little bit just in case one of them walks this way. I'm pretty sure there's at least one that walks through here, so let's just be careful about them. And we are getting a little low on health, so let's go ahead and eat some more leg meat, where I just noticed this battle war right in front of us, so we should probably take care of that one first. But if we can get like these ones right here, we then have the boss inside of there, and then there are 2 bristleback alongside him. So we need to like kind of consider what we want to do here, because there are a couple of different strategies that we could do to fight against them. Where one could be to just like really focus on the boss and try to kill him, where upon killing him we could try to kill the other 2, or we could run away and then like loot the boss, or loot the boss and run away. Or we could try to kill the mobs and then kill the boss, or we could try to kill the boss without attracting the attention of the other mobs, which is probably the smartest thing to do. And if that doesn't work out, we can go ahead and try to kill the boss, and then probably running away will be the best choice. I just got a ragged leather vest, so we can go ahead and equip that, and I also got ragged leather pants and no ragged leather gloves. We still have frayed gloves. Let's go ahead and equip these 2 items, and hopefully we will look pretty cool for level 4 Tauren, which I do think we do look pretty cool there. So I see this one Quilboar behind us. Let's go ahead and open up this area to run away, and looks like there's a battle boar over there, but it might just be wandering around. And this might be mobs respawning, and if that is the case, we should try to hurry it up a little bit. So let's go ahead, get our resources back, and then let's go ahead and attack this boss. So we have a bristleback Quilboar in there, and then we have the shaman in there, and let's go ahead and attack this Quilboar. Oh, that boar just respawned. Okay, this is tight. Let's get into here, and let's go ahead, try to kill this Quilboar, and let's kill him fast, and then let's kill this battle boar here. They're respawning so fast, and I'm the only person in this area. Okay, this one just respawned, so let's try to clear the way back to this tent very, very quickly here. And then, so I think if we kill this Quilboar, and then we kill this battle boar to kind of open up this position right here, then we could pull the boss, and then we should be able to kill the boss pretty easily by just pulling him out here. And then we'll probably have to reset once we kill him, and kill any of the ones that respawn right here, where I see this dude walking in. Oh, this is getting a little bit dicey. So let's be very smart here. I think this is one of the patrols I was thinking of. So this might slow down our approach a little bit here. Let's see. Okay, so we just cleared this path right here. Let's go ahead and kill this one. Try to kill it quickly, and then let's go ahead and eat really quickly and try to pull the boss right here. Kill it quickly before anything respawns, and then try to clear out a path to respawn or kill these people. Okay. I think we need to ignore that battle board because we are not going to have enough time. Let's go ahead, drink some water even, and let's go ahead, come up to here, and let's pull the boss, and let's hope we do not die and hope we do not pull the other mob there, which it looks like we are fine. So let's go ahead and stand right here, and let's go ahead and try to kill the boss without anything respawning right here. So far nothing has respawned. So let's go ahead and keep using our weapon attacks here, and we killed him and we got his head, which is good. And that's very quickly, let's go ahead and kill this battle boar so we can open up some fresh space for us before anything else respawns, because the respawn timers are so fast right now. So let's go ahead and continue through here, and then we can get on the other side of these vines, and we should be in a safe position for at least another minute, and we can start working our way up to this quest that we can pick up here. So the shaman is attacking us from range, which might be a little concerning if we get attacked by like multiple of them and if they like run away, but I think we'll mostly be fine. So let's go ahead and continue up towards this cave where I see the shaman right here and then the battle boar. So we can go ahead and kill these two and hopefully be in a good position to go into this cave, which is a very small cave. So it's not too big of an issue. Where if you know anything about hardcore World of Warcraft, caves are a very dangerous place to be in, or any interior like a keep or whatever, because it is very hard to escape from a cave. Where I think this entire area is kind of like pretty similar to a cave, it just doesn't have a roof on it, but it's like a bit more open compared to a cave. So we have more position and like more area to work around in. So we have a shaman in here, and then we have a squealer thorn mantle, which is going to drop a quest for us, I believe, and we are going to be fighting both of them here. So I think if we can get into a position where we can kind of like trick the shaman, where he's going to cast a lightning bolt there, and then we can come around here and we can just deal damage to the squealer, and every time he starts casting a lightning bolt we can go ahead and run to the other side. So let's go ahead and finish off this thorn mantle right here, and then we can go ahead and turn our attention to the shaman. So we got Squealer's belt. Let's come around this corner here. Oh, it attacked us anyways. And I guess there is a dirt stained map on the ground there, and it's not on the Squealer. So let's kill the shaman very quickly and get in here very quickly so we can go ahead and pick up this dirt stained map. So it's technically opening it and has like a 5 second cast time, whatever. And this is a quest that we can pick up, which after carefully evaluating the map, you realize that what you discovered are the plans made by the Bristleback War Chief for an extended siege on Camp Narache. Surely Chief Hawkwind could use this information. So we can go ahead and accept that, and we can go turn it into the chief. But we still have a couple of quests left to do. So let's go ahead and come around this area, which I don't think I've really ever been up here before, so this is kind of fun. But this looks like a pretty safe area, and hopefully there's not a trap up here. Where I'm actually kind of just curious now what's up here. I don't think there's much of anything at all. So yeah, just like a pretty cool area that we can kind of run up to. But let's go ahead and come back down here where we need to get one more battle boar flank, and then we need to get 4 more bristleback belts. So let's continue fighting some of the mobs around here, and we are getting pretty close to leveling up to level 5, which is nice. So we are very close, or we are now level 5. So we have leveled up and we have become a little bit more powerful, which is nice. And it's kind of nice to get that like health and mana back from fighting this mob, because every time you level up you get 100% of your health and 100% of your mana returned to you. So as we are playing, it might be a little bit smart to kind of like save our level ups for a situation where we might be fighting like an extra dangerous enemy that has like ads around him, so we can go ahead and like fight them, and then we could maybe get a level up as we fight that mob. but we need one more belt here, and then we can go ahead and try to get another flank from this battle boar. And it looks like we will need to fight oh, we are out of ammo. So it's good we are getting close to the end of this quest here. So we're going to have to rely on our trusty worn axe, and we don't have any other things, or I guess, oh, we got an upgrade on our belt here. And it looks like that's the only upgrade. So let's hope we get a flank here, and then we can go ahead and fight. Oh, we did not get a flank. Okay, let's come over this way. Equip, or not that. Squealer's belt. Let's try to get the attention of this battle boar because he's kind of alone right here. Just walk up to him and let's run back this way. And then we should be able to deal with him pretty easily right here. So there is our battle boar flank. So we only need one more belt. And I'm trying to decide which is the best avenue to go down. And I think coming over here and getting the attention of this Quilboar would be good. So if you could come attack me, please. You are so oblivious to this giant Tauren just standing right next to you. So let's go ahead and pull you over this way. And then hopefully we do not damage or destroy, or hopefully he has a belt that he is wearing, so we can go ahead and take it off his persons and go ahead and Hearthstone back to the camp. So let's go ahead, finish off this Quilboar, and this is the moment of truth where he does indeed have a belt. So let's go ahead and Hearthstone back this way, where we have 4 quests we can turn in, which is very nice. And hopefully we don't get attacked as we Hearthstone, and we can go ahead and just turn in all these quests pretty easily, where we have the battle boars here, and we can get this nomadic vest, which is very cool, and we got a bunch of food, which is nice. So we can go ahead and equip that, and that looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead and turn in this quest where we get nomadic gloves, which is a massive upgrade. And then we can come into here where we have 2 quests where we can turn in this one and get a brand new axe, which is nice. And we now have a quest to go to Bloodhoof Village, but we have this quest that we can also turn in, which is as such as warning them. And we are very close to level 6 now, where I think I might go ahead and stick around in this area just a little bit, and we can go ahead and try to level up. We have this general goods merchant here where we can buy some light shots. So let's go ahead and I'll buy 2 stacks of them, I guess, which they stack in stacks of 200 shots. So we started with 1 stack. Where as we fight through some monsters here and get a little bit of experience, I kind of wanted to share a tiny story about the development of World of Warcraft, where with the development of each of the classes, as you make a game, you create all the different classes, which is pretty obvious. But hunters were one of, if not the last class. I don't remember all the exact details, but I believe they were the last class that was being designed for World of Warcraft, and they kind of released without them being fully implemented to the developers' goals. So basically, one big example with the hunter class that we see with that is that they actually use mana, where originally, when the developers were designing this game, they were designing a system called Focus, which is basically just an energy system, similar to what we see with rogues, which we haven't really played as, but also with feral druids, which we played a tiny bit of in my last Let's Play series, my last mini series, where it's an energy system where you have this energy, and when you use a special spell or whatever, it uses up that energy, and that energy regenerates. So you have to kind of balance out the energy you have with the spells you want to use, and if you run out of energy, you have to wait a second for it to regenerate and stuff like that. So it is basically an iteration of that energy system, but it never got fully implemented into the game, where it actually exists for pets, I believe. So pets have the focus system, but hunters don't have it for whatever reason. So they just slapped mana onto hunters, where originally, the serpent sting would cost focus, and the focus would come back, but now we have mana instead, which means in order to regenerate mana, it's just like with any other spellcaster, where you can drink water in order to restore it. And it's kind of a very interesting idea, where these hunters that have these martial attacks kind of use mana on their martial spells or whatever, and that exists because it wasn't fully implemented until the Cataclysm expansion, which when you look at World of Warcraft Classic, Cataclysm Classic is actually next on the slate, and it's going to be releasing in a few months or whatever. And hunters will be getting the focus system that exists throughout World of Warcraft, I believe, in retail World of Warcraft. I believe it still exists like that, where hunters have focus, which is basically like a variation of like the energy system. So playing vanilla World of Warcraft or the Burning Crusade or Wrath Lich King, you are able to experience hunters before focus was implemented in the year of 2010, where hunters use mana from 2004 to 2010, which is very interesting and kind of fun. And different people have different like opinions about whether or not focus is a good thing, and I think largely most people think focus is like a good thing, but you know, some people really enjoy kind of like the classic experience of hunters having mana, which is kind of like a fun thing in its own right. And I think it's kind of like a part of the game that really makes World of Warcraft classic. But as we fight and kill this Planestrider here, we should level up to nope. But as we fight and kill this Planestrider, we level up to level 6, which was basically what I was going for right here. So let's go ahead and return back to the camp where we can learn a new skill, and we can also clean up my inventory here a little bit and maybe buy some more shots while I'm at it. But let's talk to the hunter trainer here, and let's say I seek training in the ways of the hunter, and we can get Arcane Shot and Hunter's Mark, which are two pretty fun spells, except Hunter's Mark is really kind of something that I don't use too much. But let's go ahead and throw these down onto our action bar here, and let's go ahead and explore them. Where Hunter's Mark places the Hunter's Mark on the target, increasing the ranged attack power of all attackers against that target by 20. In addition, the target of this ability can always be seen by the hunter, whether it stealths or turns invisible. The target also appears on the minimap, lasts for 2 minutes. So this is something that's really fun in PvP, and it's kind of just something you want to make sure you keep up on your enemies in PvE. And it's kind of just a nuisance for me really, where I don't really enjoy putting this on to our enemies, but we can put it onto this Cougar here, and basically all damage attacks against this enemy that deal like attack power damage is increased by 20 range attack power, whatever that math is right there. But we also got Arcane Shot, which is very fun, where we have our normal auto shot here, but we can use Arcane Shot to instantly unleash an attack right there that deals bonus damage. And this is basically just something that just increased our DPS by a lot, because we can use this off cooldown every 6 seconds to just deal an extra 13 arcane damage, compared to like our normal auto shot right here, which just dealt 13 damage. So it's basically like double DPS right there every 6 seconds, I guess. So not exactly double DPS, but you know, math. World of Warcraft, you know, math is a big part of World of Warcraft Classic and modern day World of Warcraft too. But we have a quest right here called a Task Unfinished, which is basically our innkeeper and inns tutorial, where we can go ahead and head to the inn in Bloodhoof village, and we can go ahead and set our hearthstone there, and we can also get some nice like food or water from completing this task, which I might go ahead and pick water since we are running low on that. But we can go ahead and leave a Red Cloud Mesa behind us, and we can head out into Mulgore, which Mulgore is honestly an absolutely beautiful zone that I love quite a bit aesthetically. It's just a very fun zone to like look at, and to play through it, it is also pretty fun. It is a lot of people's like favorite zone in World of Warcraft. It's not necessarily my favorite zone, but I do like it a lot, and I always have a fun time running through here and fighting all the creatures, which perhaps we should get some experience along the way. So let's go ahead and attack this wolf here, and as we fight this wolf on this mountain or hill right here, we can see off in the distance a lake, and along the lake is Bloodhoof village, which Cairn Bloodhoof is a name that we should recognize because he is the leader of the Taurens, and he basically was the one that directly helped Thra and Rexxar and, you know, everyone with like the founding of Durotar and like in the war against the Legion and stuff like that. And he is the leader of the United Tribes of the Tauren, and he now resides in Thunderbluff, and we met him on our Orc Shaman character, but this is Bloodhoof village named after his tribe, and his son is actually here in Bloodhoof village, and his son plays a very important part in the future of World of Warcraft, but not really until like the Cataclysm expansion is when we start seeing him play a bigger role because of some story that maybe I'll throw down in the description as some bonus lore. where we have now entered Bloodhoof village, which is a pretty sizable town that has quite a few Tauren, as you can see by all of the quest markers around here. But let's go ahead and run up here to Bane Bloodhoof, which is very fun to see the character that he becomes in the future of WoW. But here he is hanging out right here in the very earliest version of WoW, right here in the Bloodhoof village. So let's go ahead and complete that quest, and then we can pick up a bunch of different quests that we can begin doing soon enough. But let's run around here, pick up these quests, and we can go ahead and just explore this area a little bit. Pick up swoop hunting right there, and then we can come around here and see the riding mounts for Tauren, which are the Kodo. So we got a gray riding Kodo, brown riding Kodo, and then we have some great gray, white, and brown riding Kodos right here. And these are very cool mounts that you can get at level 40 and level 60 as you learn the skill to ride them and as you buy them, which is very nice. And a lot of people really like Kodo, and I think they are pretty cool. And in vanilla World of Warcraft, there is actually one quest missing from this that gets added at like the end of the Burning Crusade expansion, I believe, which is a memorial for a fan that passed away to cancer, I believe, and he was basically immortalized here in World of Warcraft. And a very fun quest where you go and hunt some like swoops, I believe, to get some food in order to get the attention of his lost dog that's just running around Bloodhoof village. And it is a very nice quest, which is unfortunately not in vanilla and comes in a future expansion. But I think I'm going to go ahead and run into here to talk to the skinners, so we can go ahead and just skin all the mobs that we fight around the world, just so I can get some extra gold. And then I think we need to talk to the trades good person. We can go ahead and buy a skinning knife. We don't have enough money for that. Let's go ahead, sell that, and then broken fang. Okay, we have just enough, so we can be able to turn the skinny knife into some more money in the future as well. But we can come into the inn here that has a mailbox on the outside and an innkeeper in here where we can make this inn our home, and we can ask him what we can do at an inn, where he says all this stuff, and we can make it our home again, I guess. And then let's go ahead and turn in this quest, which I'm going to go ahead and pick the refreshing spring water, and which is going to be the last quest that I complete in this episode. We can go ahead and quickly come up to here, and we can pick up this quest where we have earned 6 levels and 27% of the way to the next level in this episode, which I think is pretty good. And most importantly, we have done it without dying, because in hardcore, if we die once, we are dead forever on this character, and if we die, we are going to have to go again. But I hope you all enjoyed watching this episode of my Hardcore WoW series, and I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Remember, as always, to drink some water, check your posture, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time in the world of Azeroth. Goodbye.